Studying abroad is so important because you get a different look on life. You're not experiencing something through pictures or through a computer screen. You're actually taking yourself out of what's probably a comfort zone and dunking yourself just completely 100% into a different culture.
The Tennessee Consortium for International Studies, TnCIS, represents the 19 colleges and universities in the Tennessee Board of Regents system. We are devoted to making international education a central goal throughout the state of Tennessee.
TnCIS started with a book, actually. I read the book, The World is Flat, was fascinated by the ideas brought forth in it, and I gave it to a board member. And so I went back and did further research and found out how few students in TBR were going to study abroad. And I came back with a general idea of, well, maybe we could put together just some sort of grouping, consortium of colleges and universities. We started with a small program in Mexico made up almost, well, entirely of Pellissippi State students, because TnCIS is housed here. We had direct access to those students, so in order to get started, we began that way.
We also have been dedicated to expanding the academic areas of which we're offering courses. So we first stuck with the traditional humanities, language type courses, and now we're offering a good number of STEM courses, workforce development courses, and other courses that are non-traditional in study abroad.
I've been to Greece, I've been to Scotland, and I've been to Paris. And definitely my favorite was Paris. I love that city so much. In Greece I took speech, because speech is mandatory, so I figured if it's a required class, it'd be kind of cool to take it in another country, and it was. In Scotland I took Intro to Ethics, which was cool. In Paris I took Beginner French 2, which is amazing way to learn a foreign language is to do it in another country.
To me, London was a place that I have dreamed of going ever since I was a little girl. I grew up on British literature and British poetry, and to be able to immerse myself in the culture that I had dreamed of going to, it was really surreal. And to know that I made it possible, like I worked hard for it, and Pellissippi State gave me a great scholarship that I worked so hard for, it was so rewarding and absolutely incredible to me.
The biggest hurdle for many of these students is financing. How do I pay for this program? The good news is that there's scholarship programs all over the state. At Pellissippi State, for example, we have a solid scholarship program where students, if eligible, can get up to 50% of the cost of the program in a scholarship.
I was learning all the time. It's entirely different than being in a classroom here in Knoxville because you're walking the streets of London. You're not sitting in a classroom, you're not jotting down notes, you're actually living the class that you're taking. Basically every day we had about a 3-hour discussion class, and then we'd take a break and do some reading, some studying, and then we'd go out and have excursions at museums or go see a show at night. Basically it was all fun to me.
A couple of years ago, Pellissippi State had more students studying abroad than any other community college in the country. This past year, for instance, we had study abroad students studying in 18 different countries. A far cry, and it represents about 3,500 students. So that's a big jump from having 8 or 10 students in a small program in Mexico to a worldwide program today.
I think it's important to study abroad because this is a tremendous opportunity, and when you're actually forced to be in a different culture like that, it's an unreal experience. You also learn really cool things about other cultures. You meet really awesome people that you never would have met. Other students from around the world, like I met some cool people from like the Netherlands, some cool students that I never would have met.
For a student who's interested in participating from Pellissippi State, they should first contact our office, and we have an advisor on hand, a study abroad advisor, who can work with them in terms of course selection, program selection. They can also work with them in terms of financing, so the scholarship options that are available to students here at Pellissippi State, or they could just start by visiting our website and becoming familiar with our program offerings.
So if you're considering it, go for it, because I promise you nothing will have that same experience for you. It's so important to be culturally immersed in something different for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it is. And it's such a good experience. I don't have adequate words for it.